Hello trainers, I'm Upgraded Rotom, aka the coach of the San Diego Pachirisus, and this week in LET Week 5, we find ourselves against our opponents, the Venus Weedusaurs, and their coach, Boyd. Boyd has a monster of a team here with stuff like Terra Chiyu, Landorus T, Jirachi to throw in some Serene Grace T-Wave Bullcrap, Meowscarada, and just pretty much everything on its team is a very big hindrance to mine. Boyd is also an excellent battler, so I expect him to unleash their full potential within said battle. Nevertheless, I believe I've concocted a team that can help us bring ourselves to yet another victory for this season. First in the lineup, we've got our Zarude here, and Zarude here is rocking the EV spread of 40 HP, 252 defense, 216 speed with the Jolly Nature, the moves Knock Off, Jungle Healing, Bulk Up, and Trailblaze, with the Black Glasses as its item, and the Terra Fairy. Once we Terra Fairy, we'll be able to threaten the majority of their team. Stuff like Hydrapple, Meowscarada, Chiyu don't really want to deal with a Zarude here, and especially not Rotom. Rotom does not want to deal with Chiyu here. Chiyu? Zarude. My bad, I got my own Pokemon wrong. I've mentioned it before, but Knockoff is back here doing its knockoff things and just removing items for us, and that'll be boosted by our glasses, allowing us to do even more damage with it. As I mentioned in the opener, we got Jirachi here to do some pretty annoying Thunder Wave shenanigans, and even Rotom, if it decides to go for a Will-O-Wisp, then it can be a little bit annoying. We can allow ourselves to heal ourselves up with Jungle Healing while getting rid of said status that we might be applied with. Bulk Up allows us to increase our physical side of defense, as we have invested the majority of our stats into our special side this week, while also increasing our physical attack stat. If we get a good few of those off against stuff like their Rotom or their Tentacruel, maybe even Jirachi, then we can start increasing our damage output while increasing our survivability against stuff like the Landorus or the Meowscarada. Trailblaze is there in order to start allowing me to outspeed stuff, as they might bring a Scarf user within Keldeo or Chiyu. Hey, maybe even Landorus itself is going to be a Scarf user, but essentially, yeah, it's just going to be there to help me start to outspeed a good portion of their team if they do have Scarf users. Zarude here this week is mostly just going to be trying to increase its attack stat while getting rid of any statuses that they might try to hinder us with, and just make sure that knockoff goes crazy. Next in the lineup, we've got our Gouging Fire, and this week Gouging Fire is rocking the EV spread of 4 HP, max attack, and max speed with the Jolly Nature, the moves Dragon Dance, Heat Crash, Earthquake, and Dragon Claw, with the Clear Amulet as its item. With this set here, we'll be speed tying the Landorus and the Rotom if they're both max speed. However, the play I hope to see happen within the battle is that we end up losing a Pokemon and then we switch into Gouging Fire here, and then Gouging Fire can pretty nicely set up a Dragon Dance against a good portion of their team, and then they'll try to switch into Lando T. However, with our Clear Amulet item, we should be able to ignore its Intimidate, allowing us to keep our +1 in attack, and with our +1 in speed from the Dragon Dance, we should be able to still outspeed it. Unless it's a Choice Scarf, then we'll speed tie it, but regardless, we are taking a hit from this thing unless it's banded, but if it's banded, we outspeed it. Heat Crash is a very important move on this set, as a lot of my opponent's Pokemon are going to be taking the full 120 base power from its potential. And then layered on top of that, their Pokemon like Chiyu might Terastallize and lose its Fire type, Hydrapple might turn into a Steel type to try and better resist a few other Pokemon on my team, and so it just gives us a decent matchup. For those that don't have a perfect type matchup, I have coverage moves in Dragon Claw and Earthquake for those. Earthquake is going to be hitting the Tentacruel for super effective damage, it's going to hit the Chiyu for super effective damage if it hasn't Terastallized yet, and then Dragon Claw is just there to cover for neutral stuff against everything else. For this set, I'm hoping that Gouging Fire is going to be our kind of endgame sweeper if possible. After Gouging Fire, we've got our Tinkaton coming off of the bench, and this week Tinkaton is rocking the EV spread of 80 attack, 196 special defense, and 232 speed with the Jolly Nature, the moves Ice Hammer, Stealth Rock, Light Screen, and Gigaton Hammer, with the Light Clay as its item. This set here is going to be able to take a good portion of my opponent's special moves from a lot of their special attackers, besides Chiyu. Chiyu is going to dent this thing, or even just one-shot it. But mainly, Tinkaton is going to be a pretty much designated lead where possible. Our main goal with this set is just going to be immediately to set up their Stealth Rock, as their only hazard remover is going to be Tentacruel, but I believe I have some pretty decent answers for it regardless, and if they don't bring it, then the rocks are up for the entire battle. Ice Hammer is there as we should be able to outspeed a Landorus with our speed naturally, and if we don't, it's going to be a Choice Scarf set, so we'll be able to figure out some information. Light Screen is there to work in tandem with our Light Clay and allow us to better bolster our special defenses, so that way Chiyu doesn't just run amok on my team. And last but not least, Gigaton Hammer is there just mostly for some decent damage output for anything that we want to hit for some neutral damage. After Tinkaton, we have our Quaquaval here, and Quaquaval is rocking a pretty interesting set this week. With 128 HP, 60 attack, 128 special defense, and 192 speed, with the Adamant nature, the moves Aqua Step, Close Combat, Flip Turn, and Rapid Spin, and the Assault Vest as its item with the ability Moxie. Now this set is pretty interesting. Our speed EVs will allow us to outspeed anything on my opponent's team that's not Scarfed after our Aqua Step or a Rapid Spin. But the main focus of this Quaquaval here is going to be that Assault Vest you see on it. See, I don't have any great answers into Chi-Yu realistically. However, if they are a choice-locked version that I'm expecting, then this kind of goes crazy. Because if they're going to go for a Dark move or a Fire move, Quaquaval resists both, and then the Assault Vest kind of reduces Chi-Yu's ability of reducing my special defense. Now, I understand that Chi-Yu is a Terra Captain and could totally Terra Fairy or maybe even Terra Psychic. It still gets Psychic naturally, so there are still threats. However, this set is designed, again, mostly to deal with one of those Specs variants. And even if it's not a Specs variant, hopefully those rocks or just even like a potential switch-in is going to be able to get enough chip onto it where I can deal with it with something later. Like I mentioned earlier, Aqua Step is going to be able to give ourselves a speed boost to outspeed anything that's not Choice Scarfed on my opponent's team. We've got Close Combat on there so that we can go ahead and like Aqua Step a Meowscarada or Rapid Spin it, remove its sash, and then Close Combat it out of Oblivion. Flip Turn is there in order to give ourselves a little bit of momentum if they go into Keldeo, Tentacruel, or Rotom. And Rapid Spin is there in order to remove any hazards that they might set up on their side, whether it be Spikes from Klefki or even Stealth Rocks from Lando. After Quaquaval, we have our Rotom, who is also running an interesting set this week. And so Rotom is rocking the EV spread of max HP, 128 defense, and 128 special defense with the Calm nature, and the moves Thunder Wave, Trick, Discharge, and Shadow Ball, with the Ring target as its item, and the Terra being Fighting. Now this set is interesting as my opponent has a solid amount of Pokemon that are immune to types. And so I'm hoping that I can go ahead and trick this onto a Pokemon that has set immunities, that way I can hit it for stuff that it normally couldn't be hit with. A great example of this is going to be their Landorus if they decide to try and switch into an electric type move. Our trick will allow us to give that thing the ring target and then hit that thing for a Thunder Wave or even a Discharge. On top of that, if they decide to go into something like their Rotom to face my Rotom, which, knowing boy, it is very possible, then we can go ahead and remove its normal type immunity, allowing Quaquaval to freely just Rapid Spin without worry about not getting those hazards away from our side of the field. There's more things that I have in mind that I can see this working out with, but like I said, that ring target is a very unique item for this battle, and I'm really hoping to see this thing kind of put its use into it. Other than that, on this set, Thunder Wave is there just in order to kind of get rid of those speedy Pokemon that they have. They have a lot of like base speed 100 Pokemon, so I'm hoping to kind of whittle down a little bit of their team in their speed stat. And you know, paralyses are not bad during a match. We just have to basically pray to the gods. Discharge is nice as we'll be able to hit stuff. Discharge is nice electricity coverage as we'll be able to hit stuff like Keldeo for super effective damage and even their Tentacruel, while also potentially spreading some more paralyses. Like I said, I want to try and slow down their Pokemon. And last but not least, I did mention that I do believe that we're going to have a Rotom versus Rotomoff, and I think Shadow Ball is a wonderful move to have for said scenario, as we'll be able to hit it super effectively while they can only hit us for maybe like neutrally. And last but not least, the Fighting type Terra is on there in order to allow us to kind of resist the Dark type moves from Chi-Yu possibly a little bit better, and even like from Meowscarada as well. But realistically, it's also kind of there to just scare out those things. Maybe we can force a Terra on Chi-Yu if they bring both Terra Captains. Maybe we can potentially scare a Meowscarada from going for a triple Axle if it decides to bring that. Again, just kind of a scare potential there. Don't really have full thought process of actually going through with Terra Fighting, but in some prep battles I've done, it has been quite useful. Last but not least on this team, we finally got Ambipom coming off of the bench, and I've got some pretty high hopes for this Pokemon in this battle, not gonna lie. With this Ambipom set here, we are rocking an EV spread of 56 HP, max attack, and 200 speed, with the Jolly nature, the moves Fake Out, Thunder Wave, Triple Axle, and U-Turn, the Heavy Duty Boots as its item, and the Technician ability with its Terra being Flying. With our EV spread here, we should be able to outspeed everything that is not a Meowscarada or a Choice Scarfer. Nevertheless, though, we have our Fake Out for our priority against those kinds of Pokemon, and with our Stab and our Technician ability working in tandem, Fake Out will be doing some nice damage to anything that's not a Steel-type Pokemon. And like I mentioned before as well, if we get that ring target onto Rotom, we can indeed Fake Out the Rotom as well. Thunder Wave is there in order to, again, slow down my opponent's Pokemon and pray to the Paragods. Another neat trick is going to be that if we find ourselves with the ring target on Landorus, we'll be able to Thunder Wave that. But if we don't want to Thunder Wave the Landorus with Ambipom, we have Triple Axle for said reason. Triple Axle is going to hit it for super effective damage, and even though it will be -1 when it gets intimidated, it should still neatly KO, or if it's a physically defensive Landorus, we can get it close to death and still outspeed it, and then go for another Triple Axle. Even stuff like Meowscarada and the Hydrapple do not want to deal with Triple Axle. The only Pokemon I really want to say might want to take this are going to be their like water types and then Chi-Yu. But in those cases, we have U-Turn on this set in order to get ourselves out of those bad situations. The Heavy Duty Boots are on here as this is going to be a decent pivot Pokemon. Either we're going to be leading with this, or we're going to just try to switch it in to get some Fake Outs going, or even spread some Thunder Waves. And so not having to deal with hazards while those are out is going to make this set run amazingly. And last but not least, the Terra Flying is on there in order to better deal with any fighting type moves that we might see from Keldeo, or even to try and stop a Landorus from going for an Earthquake against us. And that's going to be the team for this week. I know it's a little bit more gimmicky than we normally run, but I'm excited for that, as normally I don't get to run these kinds of sets as often as I would like. And so I'm hoping to see them all do some pretty decent work. Let me know what you guys think of it down in the comments below though, and I will see you guys once we are in our battle. Perfect, and we have found them. Let's see what they have brought. Okay, so a good majority of this I was expecting. Hydrapple could be very annoying, but otherwise, yeah, the majority of it I thought was coming. I'm interested to see no Klefki. Hold on, let me focus and tell him what my Terra Captains are real quick. I'll be silent for just a little. Okay, so now that I'm back, I think a good lead here would be our Tinkaton here. We can go ahead and set up rocks. They might have the ability to rapid spin them away later, but that's fine. If they lead into Landorus, then we just switch out into our Rotom, and if they lead Meowscarada, then they're either going to U-turn or they're going to knock off, and our Pickpocket will allow ourselves to take their item if they knock off. So yeah, that's our plan. Hopefully they don't lead Chi-Yu, and we'll see where it goes. Oh wait, I gotta press done. Just making sure I'm recording this, right? Okay, good, I am recording. Yeah, so it's been a little bit since the bye week, so let's see. I might be a little rusty, but I'm always a little rusty. I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't know if you can tell, I'm a little nervous. Alright, they lead Snow White. Who's white? It is the Hydrapple. Perfect. Okay, so we do have Ice Hammer for this. What was the Terra type for this? It was Poison, right? Yeah, it's Poison Apple. So we're going to go ahead and just get our Stealth Rocks up. If they go for Chi-Yu immediately here, that is fine. Ooh, are you going to go for a nasty plot? Maybe a sub? Earth Power. Okay. We take that nicely. And then I'm down to just go ahead and Light Screen here. Perfect. And then we'll see if they're a Yachi Berry variant by going for Ice Hammer. And that does half its health. We should still be able to outspeed this. And thanks to that light screen, we survived the hit. Now how much is, what's it called? Gigaton Hammer doing? Gigaton's doing about 30%, 39%. If they Terra Poison... Gigaton's doing a lot more than Ice Hammer would. So I think Gigaton isn't terrible. So let's go for that. And then out comes Chi, right? Yeah, I'm pretty... No, this is Tentacruel. Okay. So they're gonna probably just go ahead and try to Rapid Spin here. It's a... I'm so sorry for the crit. I am so sorry for the crit. Okay. How much is Ambipom doing to Tentacruel? Defensive pivot, let's say. Fake Out's doing around 31%. That's not bad. I'll go for Ambipom here. And then let's say you're at +1 on speed for Tentacruel. Yeah, they do just Rapid Spin. Okay. And I am actually kind of surprised to see... Did they bring Rotom? Am I totally crazy? Did they not bring Rotom to this? They didn't. Oh my gosh, I totally was expecting a Rotom battle. Alright, that's fine. Who comes out here? Chi-Yu might easily come out, or even the, what is his face? Why am I blanking on its face? The Keldeo. I think Thunder Wave here is not a bad move, honestly. Okay, so unfortunately, we do not have our item anymore. So if they set up any hazards, we're going to have to deal with that. I'm going to U-turn. And then I'm going to go back into Tinkaton. Ooh, Rocky Helmet. Neat. Because I want to keep our... Actually, do I need the... Yeah, I want to keep our item on here, and we can get rid of that Rocky Helmet. And I'd like to keep the ring target. Yeah, we'll go with that. Ooh, they just flipped turn. Okay. So, unfortunately, we don't have rocks anymore, which is going to be a little bit annoying. Ooh. That is rough to see the flip turn. Who are you going to go into? The good news is we get the momentum. Who are you going into? Miss Sassy-Grass. This is the Meowscarada. I could just go back into you and go for the Fake Out. We can break the Sash. It would outspeed me later, though. Triple Axel is doing a lot to you. Zarude might not be a bad Pokemon here. Interesting. Okay. I think I'm gonna go with Zarude here. And we're gonna hope we make the right calls. Sorry, was it Terra Ground for Chi-Yu? I totally forgot to double check that. Fire, actually. Okay. So I feel like it's gonna be in my interest to Terrastalize here. And go for a Trailblaze to outspeed this thing if they U-turn. Correct or wrong? I think correct. They could go into Hydrapple here. They do just go into Hydrapple. Okay. So they might Terra here, which is unfortunate because Tinkaton's now gone. so let's think about this. They could also very easily set up a nasty plot. Let's think about this. Hydrapple versus Zarude. It's a leftover set. Okay. Knockoff. Here, let's check the poison type Terra first. Terra Blast. Terra Blast, Terrestrialize is gonna. Ooh, that does a lot to us. However, a bulk up into a knockoff is doing what? About half of its health. I don't think that's terrible. Might be not. I don't think that's necessarily the right play, but I'm gonna try and see how it goes. Now, this does open up Gouging Fire a little bit later in the game. I'm hoping they nasty plot here, quite honestly. So we'll see. We'll see. They do just nasty. Okay. So let me put this thing at +2 now. Fickle Beam is getting a little scary, but while we're fairy types, we are immune to it. Oh, I forgot about our light screen for a flat second. But that's fine. We're gonna go ahead and knock off now. We gotta get rid of that leftovers. Energy Ball. I didn't calc Energy Ball, but it does not kill us. Knockoff without an item is doing how much HP to this? Doing 38 max. So you can either let me kill you, let me knock something else off, or yeah, you're gonna let me knock something else off. Probably Lando? No, this is you. I forgot about you for a second. Okay, so that Rocky Helmet is a little annoying, but we should still outspeed anything that's not Scarfed. And then we can just try to knock off yet another item. Or they just go back into Hydrapple, quite honestly. They could probably just go back into Hydrapple. Little Brony. Okay. How much are we doing with the Trailblaze? Into you, you are Keldeo. And let's say you're a Specs set. Trailblaze is doing like half of its HP, so we're gonna find out if it's a Scarf set here or not. It is Scarf. Okay. Good to know. So here I feel pretty strongly about going into Gouging Fire and going for that Dragon Dance. And then I'm doing a quick few calculations right here. But I do like our Dragon Dance pretty nicely. Want to make sure we click Dragon Dance. And then, what's its face? Mr. Meowers. Yeah, so this is Lando. And luckily, our Clear Amulet prevents that. Landorus. You can't be Scarf, so we know we outspeed. Let's say you're a Wall Breaker. If you are Life Orb, ooh, you do kill us if you're Life Orb. We have a high chance to KO it. We have a 56% chance to OHKO with Key Crash. If this is not defensive. If it's defensive, we do live the next hit. Okay. What's your berry? Citrus? So you're not Life Orb. You're Earthquake. I think we should lift this. We do. Perfect. And then, unfortunately, we won't outspeed, what's their face? Keldeo anymore. However, might go for a Dragon Claw. I don't want to risk a Keldeo switch in. Keldeo does just kind of come back in, though. It should still outspeed. Yeah. So from a Scarf Keldeo, Rotom's taking what? Oh, I keep clicking the wrong Pokemon. Keep typing the wrong thing. Typing the wrong things. Jesus, my typing is gonna kill me. Surf is doing about 30-40% if they're Scarf, and we should resist the other moves that it has. So I like that. And then I do want to try and Thunder Wave. Right? Yeah, Thunder Wave is pretty nice. Hydrapple comes back in. Then we hope for Paras. Chi-Yu comes in, then we can go ahead and discharge after the paralysis. I'm assuming Hydrapple? Yes, Hydrapple. Now, this is poison type. So, what's it called? Hydrapple. How much are you taking if you're not too specially defensive? About 30%. It's not great. Shadow Ball is doing a little bit less than that. But we can always come in and clean this up with Gouging Fire after the fact. Ooh, that thing has a lot of special defense into it. Okay, Fickle Beam is pretty nice for them. Ooh, this is rough. They might just sweep here with Keldeo at this point. I gotta hope for paralysis, honestly. I think I do. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Because Quacklevolt, what is Quacklevolt doing? I don't have enough time to like actually make the decision because I'm gonna be a slow typer. But I think Hydrapple can do some initial damage with close combat, and even Aqua Step. Actually, I can't. I need this discharge, and then I need some Paras. And oh, it goes all out. Nice. Cool to see the animation. Glad it wasn't for anything that's like too threatening. And then Quack comes out. And we go ahead for that Aqua Step here. Now, we should be able to live an Energy Ball, right? Because we are Assault Vest. Yeah, we'll be able to live it. It's not gonna... unfortunately, it'll do a lot to us still, but we should live it. But even then... Actually, how much HP are you at? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25... Oh, actually, Aqua Step kills this no matter what, except for when it does that. And then little Brony. With it being a Choice Scarf set. Secret Sword is going to be doing about half of our HP. We can set up another Aqua Step and outspeed it. And that might give us enough damage to get it to KO, depending on if we get a high roll or not. And depending on how much defense investment they have as well. Air Slash, I didn't calculate for that, but that's cool. Ooh. That's rough. That is real rough. But we do need another Aqua Step for this at all to have a chance. So please no flinch. Please don't do it again. Cool. And then we're doing about 59 to 69. So yeah, this close combat should kill. Wait, how did that outspeed? Wait, I'm genuinely curious. How did that... Did I do my calcs wrong? I did my calcs wrong. Well, that's on me, guys. I just lost us the game. I totally just did my calcs wrong. I did not need to sacrifice clock level there. Oh my gosh. I am an idiot. We'll see how much chip we can get done. Dang. That sucks. I should have put in just a little bit more speed EVs, because if I did, I would have outsped it, actually. Meowscarada can also just come in and kind of easily kill at this point. I don't think Ambipom lives this. I'll calc just in case. But they are taking a minute to think. Maybe they're thinking of differential, so... Oh, Ambipom actually might live this. They do just switch out. So maybe a Thunder Wave was a better play there. I should really have been paying more attention to what I am using. Okay, the Hydrapple, Triple Axle can kill, but then, what's it called? Does this kill? Oh my gosh. Okay. So, what about... I can't outspeed. There's no way I have setup opportunity here. Actually, here's the thing. We can bank on some paras. Let me see if this kills with U-turn. Because if we kill with U-turn... 7%. We might be able to bank on some paras here. It could be very stupid. But possibly. No, because if they switch out, then we just lose anyway. Yeah, we would have just lost anyway. Yeah, because this thing is Scarf. I'm not outspeeding this. I can try to get a little bit better differential by going into Escanor here. And then trying to fake out. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Okay, so there's still somewhat of a chance. Does Escanor outspeed Keldeo with a Scarf? It does not outspeed Keldeo with a Scarf. We might have to try and bank on 2 Dragon Dances here. Right, if I'm doing that math correctly, yeah, it should not. We might have to just bank on 2 Dragon Dances. So, Paragods, please. Please. I've never begged for anything more than this, ever, and that might be a lie, but don't tell the gods that. Okay. We just need one more. And this is getting risky, but we just need one more. Screw it, we ball. Screw it, we ball. Please, Paragods. Paragods. What is it, like a 10% chance? 30% chance? I don't know it, but please. Oh, and you go all out! No, you rub salt in the wound! Oh my gosh, that's wild. Okay, so I do kind of ruin my differential there. However, I do think that play was kind of necessary for this endgame that we found ourselves in. We did really want to try and bank on those paralyses in order to allow ourselves to outspeed that Keldeo. Nah, we just go for fake out and try to get as much chip as possible. Yeah, but Keldeo always kills us. In worst case scenario, yeah, Meowscarada or even Chi-Yu just kills us at this point. Wow. What a game. What a game. Again, though, I'm really surprised Boyd didn't bring Rotom. I genuinely thought he would bring Rotom against me, just for the lulz. But we'll see Keldeo or Chi-Yu come out, whatever he wants to get the kill. I'm a little sad our ring target trick didn't work out. Okay, so Meowscarada. Yeah, again, I'm a little sad the flower trick thing didn't work out, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. For a second, I thought that missed. No, it's just protein. Alright, and that would be the game. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you, Boyd, for the wonderful match. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!